Baby girl, what are you doing? I'm going to show you a quick video about how I rigged up my steering for my kayak that I installed my trolling motor on. You can see here, this is a regular Minn Kota, I think it's an Endura 30. I think so, Endura 30. Yeah, okay. So I made this little bracket here, kind of get an idea. It's just a piece of plate. We welded a couple little braces on that fits right into the supplied holes that are on the Jackson Big Rig. It's already got these holes. I think it's for that stick anchor system. But rigged it up, cut the shaft, put these two turnbuckles on for the steering. They basically just drill. That's the collar that came with the motor. They drill all the way through that. I've got a piece of all thread or bolt that I cut and screwed this into, so it goes through the shaft. Anyway, this is nothing new. I know y'all have seen this on YouTube a bunch. My steering, I'm using weed eater string, the 105 diameter, the heavy stuff. And come up here to my newly installed foot braces. They're Select designs, and basically what I had to do, they come with this. Well, you can. I don't know if you can see that's turning. Anyway, make a long story short, this piece right here was about yay long, and then it had like a little orange flag on it, and it said right or R. And on this side, it had the same thing. About this brown part was extended about here, and then it had a flag that said L for left, I'm assuming. I had to wag that because it was hitting the side of this, and it wouldn't allow it to mount flush. So this is still workable. Of course, it is a little cooler this morning, and you can work it, by grabbing this when you're sitting in the kayak to, getting it started, and then you can put your thumb in there and grab it, and you can lock your pedals in place. Anyway, so what I've done is run my weed eater string into a piece of tubing that I bought from a local hardware store. You see, it's kind of rigid, and basically I just drilled a hole right there. It runs the full length of the boat and comes out right here. And I just used my heat gun and something, I don't know, some kind of spade bit or something to kind of flare the ends where it won't pull back in there. Then I've got my weed eater string run inside of that. Come around here, and I just got a crimp and a regular little dog snap there. Okay. Same on this side, and as you can see, you sit in it. Look at the back. Very nice steering system. Now I have to say I did have this same setup on my kayak with the original foot bracing. The problem I had with the original foot bracing is that the way that the pedal actually sits inside of the channel is on the inside. So the pedal itself slides into a track which is only near about as wide as this red thing. When you're sitting in the kayak and you push, like trying to steer, all it does is it digs into there, it jams up. In other words, for this motion of twisting this causes this right here to try and dig into the mount. So I went online and I found this. It's by Select Design, SEA, Select Designs, It's got a wider track, as you can see here. Look at this one. You can see how that is sliding on the outside of the track. On the outside of the track, you don't have that binding when you go to push on it, as opposed to something maybe as wide as this right here, where your pedal is riding inside of a groove track. A lot of friction when you push on it. This right here, you got a good easy 3 inches, you know, it's 1.5 inches, 2 inches wide, and this is made of some good polymer, a good plastic with some nylon or something, but it's pretty stiff. When you push on it, it allows you to steer almost effortlessly, especially in the book. Okay. Now another thing that I did is about the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there is where I figured out my, you know, that would be, okay, well, forget that. I figured out that would be my starting center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm about right there. This is tight, and this is tight, and my engine is straight. My motor is straight, sorry. So that's going to be, you know, my leg, the length of my reach with my legs is going to be starting position about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about there. And then I will basically be pushing, I'll basically be pushing that much. And then that much. So basically from the 5th forward is where I'll be working. Alright. The other little things that I've done to this motor setup is, I know that this is a contraption, so, you know, kind of bear with me on this. As you can see here on my motor itself, like I said, this is a $30. I got it from Academy. It was like 80 something dollars. I cut the shaft down to the length that I would need for this kayak. You can see that I basically got rid of everything but the locking mechanism. It raises up free. It's perfect height, no cavitation. I don't cavitate, but also when I'm in the water, I will take and this right here, the locking bar in there, I'll take and I will slide it down so that it doesn't engage, and it allows this to just kick up. I didn't want to get rid of it altogether because, you know, I do need it some, especially for stowing. You can see stowing it, I come up like that, I turn it, lock it like this, lock it like that, and there you have it. It's good to go. It's ready to ride. The cables, you know, everything's still hooked up. Got plenty of slack in it. Pedals up there, no problem. They're not going to slide out like the old ones because of these stops right here. So I don't have to worry about that. Now, the other hacker for us here is I used a piece of SO cord, SEO cord. It's very heavy, and I think I will probably in the future just opt for the I think Minn Kota sells a little control box, a little cable, speed control, where you can have that up, you know, up there by you. But what I did here is I used the supplied cables that came with this motor that I hooked to my battery. I set my battery, and it's a pretty good sized battery. I set my battery in this box, and it basically fills up that whole box. I'm going to improve the way that the battery mounts in there, but for now this works good, gets me fishing. Put this back. Alright, so I connect my cables through there, just let them run underneath the lid, no biggie. This right here is a bit of a, just trial and error, just something I did with the materials that I had. That switch right there, as you can see, this came off the trolling motor head. You know, trolling motor had a little bit of an extendable handle, and then it had 5 speeds in forward, 3 in reverse. Okay, so I basically just took that switch out, which this was mounted inside the Minn Kota head. Took that out, mounted it inside here with some foam and some hot glue. You can see all the wires that this thing needs. It's a little bit heavier than I guess would be required, but when it comes to electrical, I guess that's why I can run my motor all day, is because I have overkill on the wires. So I basically drilled a hole, pinned it through the existing shaft, used this is a turn knob, a threaded turn knob. I drilled that out so you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it stops. And then gear reverse. 3, 1, 2, 3, off. 2, 3, 4, 5. This works fine, except for it's big and bulky, and it doesn't really bother me. The way I do it is I just run it up here, and I let it sit right there. My ice chest and all fits right in here. Matter of fact, it's the one that's on top of my tractor. I hooked this up to my battery back here, so this goes under this hatch. You can't see that. I've got my motor down, ready. My foot pedals there, and I'm good to go. And that's how I rigged up my fishing motor, my trolling motor. It is where I fish at. It is absolutely necessary to have a trolling motor with this big of a kayak, this wide of a kayak. Paddling like we do all day will just straight up kill you, especially somebody like me. Maybe a younger person could get in there and just paddle himself to death, I don't know, all day long, but it just takes away from the fishing when you have that, and you're in a 37-inch wide kayak. This bad boy is super stable, but it also, it can be a pain to paddle around in the wind. So the trolling motor with the control box, foot steering, allows me to keep on fishing in any inclement weather. It also allows me to just fish all day hands-free. So hopefully we'll try this new system out. I know y'all have seen some videos of mine fishing out of this boat, and if you look closer, you'll see this is my old system. This new system here, this will be the first time that it will be tried out on my next video. So hey, hope you get a little bit out of it, and hope to see you on the water.